I get here and all hell breaks loose. I run into Canadian Mike Dunsmore. You know Canadian Mike.
I know Canadian
I
Mike.
go, do me a favor. Now, first of all, he's going to be on our show for about 5 minutes today.
Right.
Because he knows stuff that happened in the 50s and he's 28 years old. I'm going to point out something to our guy, Tom Looney.
Well, that's all they have to do up in Canada is study history.
Yeah, but baseball? Baseball, you would think it would be hockey.
Well, you're right.
But he was talking about the Blue Jays, and I told him David Wells and I one night with a lot of the White Sox, we drank at the Sky Bar, if you will, or the hotel that the of course the stadium is in, and we lit it up pretty good. And he came up with stuff from 1968. I go, geez, you're only 28 years old. How come you know anything about history? So the kid's pretty sharp. Fox Sports Tonight with Mike North and Lincoln Kenny. Before we get to our next guest, Bernard Hopkins gets title back, Lincoln. I know you saw the story.
Yeah.
He got thrown to the canvas by Chad Lawson during their light heavyweight title bout. Dawson was ruled the winner by TKO, but the WBC Thursday returned the title to Hopkins because basically he did not win by boxing. He won by wrestling. He threw the guy down. He body slammed him practically. And then they go and give the other guy the title.
Yeah, how about that?
And they did not even wait. The WBC did not even wait for the California State Athletic Commission to make a ruling. They just said
it was quick.
It was wrong.
Oh, yeah. Well, 46-year-old Hopkins gets his title back, and now he still has got a dislocated joint in his shoulder, so it'll be see how he heals and if he'll fight again. But yeah, it's a strange world.
It's another thing that goes into boxing.
You're right
just another.
that.
Hey, by the way, I run into this kid tonight. I send him out for a 6-pack of Diet Coke. He comes back with like 2 bottles in a bag, okay, and he keeps one for himself. I go, okay, and he wants to get on the show. I could just tell because he comes up to me. Not that he wants to get on the show. He's just got knowledge enough to get on the show.
Yeah.
You know how I always talk to Looney about being a historian?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we got a guy on I know you know.
Uh-huh.
And we want to introduce him. His name is, he's an intern, Canadian Mike.
That's right.
Canadian Mike Dunsmore. Hello, Michael.
Mike North, Chicago legend, the great Lincoln Kennedy. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. I'm no longer an intern. I am an employee of Fox Sports.
I didn't know that. They still consider you an intern.
But you know what? I messed up the pop, so maybe I should go back to being an intern.
Well, apparently
you've been reprimanded.
Apparently you weren't taught by the great Chris Myers in the proper way.
I didn't get the right iced tea.
You didn't get the right iced tea.
Hey, I got some Bernard Hopkins knowledge
Go
for
ahead,
you.
my friend.
I interviewed Bernard Hopkins back in July of 2006. It was one of the first interviews I ever did.
By the way, what is your job here?
I'm a jack of all trades.
But
I
no,
can
I
produce,
want to know
I
what
can
your
edit, I can jump on
so
the
what
air.
What do you have a position?
Entrepreneur.
Okay,
here
welcome
at
to
Fox
the
Sports.
welcome
have a position,
welcome to the land of being a paid intern. Now go ahead, my friend.
Okay, so I interviewed Bernard Hopkins back in 2006, and I think this is after he beat Antonio Tarver. And he told me, 40-year-old Bernard Hopkins, I'm retired from boxing. I'm done with boxing. And he also told me that before fights, he lays off from the wife for about 6 months. Keep the protein up.
So he's like a guy that's been married over 20 years.
Exactly.
All right, thank you.
Lay
Just
off
wanted
the
to get
wife
that
before
straight.
a fight. Keep the protein up. Have you heard about Lincoln's son? Lincoln's son is a
We talked about
monster.
that. Here's what I want to tell you about.
Come on, we got to catch up.
I want to know if
we talked about that in the first
know
segment.
if Lincoln could beat his son up.
Excuse you?
No.
Did you just wait,
who
hold
would
on,
win in a
hold
fight?
on,
You're both
Dorothy.
really
Hold on,
big
hold on.
guys.
That's good. I like that.
Whoa.
Steel cage death match.
Did you just ask me if I could take my son?
He couldn't even just talk about
You've
a
got
fight.
the
He's got to have a
experience,
death
Lincoln.
match.
You first of all, whenever the young lion is ready to step up to the old lion, I always welcome it.
But he
Let
wouldn't.
it be known. I tell my son every time I talk to him, I don't care how big you get, I don't care how much you weigh. You think you're ready to take on old
You
Pops,
think Joe Frazier's father said that to him when he was a kid growing up?
Come on.
You think Ali's father said that to him?
I'm telling. This is different strokes for different folks. I'm telling you, no. The old lion is never going to go down easy.
The old lion, like the MGM lion, my
That's
friend.
right. I
will
know
never
some tricks
go
to
away.
drink.
By the way, Link, I want you to tell everybody what you said to me tonight when we were talking about. You brought up David Wells. Then
You brought up David
and
Wells.
then you brought up Mike Siratka.
You and David Wells were getting hammered in Chicago in the late 90s.
No, we were getting hammered in Toronto with a bunch of the other guys from the team at the bar that's in the hotel that they stay in, which is inside the Toronto Dome. But
you got to love that.
Yeah, we loved it. But you also brought up like the 60s to me, and I thought that's impossible.
I said David Wells, his former team doctor for the Toronto Blue Jays, was a pitcher on the '69 Amazing Mets. Of
And
course,
what was
the
his
amazing
name?
His name was Ron Taylor. He also won a World Series with the '64 Cardinals. He was pitching to
Now he's only.
Tim McCarver.
How old are you?
back then.
How old are you? young?
25 years old. Born in
Okay,
'86.
Wow.
so you're 25, but you know history.
Yes, I do.
So
of
because
course.
because some people would think not by seeing you got to be in your 60s or 70s to know this history. But it's impossible for you to be 70. You're 25 and you know this.
The internet's a beautiful thing.
There's nothing
Plenty
else
of
to do with
research
Canada.
on the
There's
internet.
nothing
You gotta
else to
do
do
it.
with Canada,
It's
right?
another episode.
And
of
you
Kids
may be
Corner.
asking yourself, how did this Canadian kid become such a baseball fanatic? It was those early '90s Toronto Blue Jays
Yes,
teams. If
Carter.
they were
he
terrible,
had to get a Canadian reference
if they
in
were
there. There you
terrible,
go.
maybe I'm a hockey player. They made me want to play baseball. So thanks to the '92-'93 Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, you know what? And I got a feeling that you're going to be someday on the other side of this mic.
I would love to talk to you again on the other side of this mic.
I didn't say
anytime.
with me. Okay? I got a feeling.
Look, you see, this is another case of the young lion trying to take the old lion.
Already,
See?
they're
You
ready
see?
to. He brought you to get.
Yeah, he brought me in. He's
He
like,
wants you to die at the hands of your son.
Can you take my
He
son? Oh,
wants
well,
me
you
to
already know
get
that's
jumped
never gonna
tonight
happen.
and mugged. He's like every other guy that wants to be a talk show host, and this is true. When Jack Brickhouse died, great announcer for the Chicago Cubs, Harry Carey moved in. Somebody's loss is somebody else's gain. Keep plugging away, buddy.
Trying.
Canadian Mike Dunsmore.
I
My
appreciate
son
you
take
letting
me.
me on Mike and Lincoln, and I met Mike North for the first time this evening, and immediately I was drawn to him. The guy's got a great personality. You
you're-
said like a fungus, right?
Yeah,
People are
like,
drawn
I
to you
grow
like
on you.
fungus.
Believe me.
Like a rash that don't heal.
Most of my bosses would have. Most of my former bosses would have a different opinion. But hey, Mikey, you take care, man. Stay true to yourself.
All right, it's
All
great
right.
to have you on Fox Sports
And
Radio.
you
Mike.
know
See
what?
you, Mikey.
The first one of the top paid interns in this country, Lincoln,
yeah.
if you know the truth. We're
Can't
gonna,
get a soda right. Can't get a soda order right. Gee.
I mean, the guy brings back 2 sodas when he asks for 6.
What is that? Boy.
That's called distributing the wealth, I think. Gonna take a quick time out here. Mike North, Lincoln Kennedy, Fox Sports tonight.